Good news, you found another episode of Good News on WCCO. We're going to share some of our uplifting and encouraging stories all in one place. And this first story is one for early risers like ourselves. If it's not water, Americans are most likely sipping a cup of coffee. 2/3 of adults have at least 1 cup a day. It's not just the energy boost that keeps people coming back. In this good question, Jeff Wagner explains what could actually benefit your health.
Apparently, this afternoon pick-me-up in a cup is like a superfood, a supplement, a medicine, a cure-all. Seriously, every few months, there's a new study that found coffee lowers the risk of dementia, lowers the risk of heart attack, lowers your stress, makes you live longer. The list goes on and on and on. And here I was just needing the caffeine to keep my head from bobbing at my desk. Why does coffee offer so many health benefits? Good question.
Like any plant, you're going to have a lot of different plant chemicals. We call those phytochemicals.
Abby Gold is a health and nutrition extension specialist for the University of Minnesota.
And so phytochemicals are meant to protect a plant from harm.
When consumed, those phytochemicals benefit humans.
Do you want that hot or iced today? Good hot. Hot sounds good.
One found in coffee is chlorogenic acid, an anti-inflammatory that can reduce cardiovascular diseases and type 2 diabetes.
And it could play a role also in how we regulate blood sugars and metabolism.
Then, of course, there's caffeine.
Caffeine can help protect the neurological system and block something called adenosine receptors in the brain. And over the long term, this interaction is linked to a lower risk of Alzheimer's or Parkinson's disease.
Caffeine also releases dopamine in the brain, elevating your mood.
And it can act as like a mild antidepressant.
I said this was my afternoon cup because it wasn't my first cup. So, how many cups of coffee should we drink to reap those health benefits? Well, there's no magic number, plus everyone's body is different. The Food and Drug Administration says 3 to 4 cups of coffee a day is safe for most adults, and one study found a few cups can lead to better health outcomes. For as much as we've sung coffee's praises, there's a line, whether it's the quantity or the ingredients we mix in. When can coffee be unhealthy?
You as an individual will know how much is good for you and how much is too much.
For some people, a few cups is too much caffeine, leading to jitters, high blood pressure, and anxiety. Adding sugars, creams, and syrups means more fat and calories.
And as a dietitian, I prefer people to get their calories from food they eat.
The list of potential health benefits from coffee is as vast as its chemical makeup. With moderation and minimal added ingredients to your cup, the energy boost provided is just the tip of the iceberg. With photojournalist Jose Pascual, Jeff Wagner, WCCO News.
For the most part, decaf coffee has the same chemical makeup as regular coffee. That means the health benefits are similar, except for those associated with caffeine. A video game is helping people experience the Ojibwe culture in a new way. Grassroots Indigenous multimedia designed it. Photojournalist Jo Van Ryn and Upa Ali show us how it works.
A new video game is bringing ancient language into a modern space, inviting players to learn about Ojibwe culture through points and clicks. It's called Reclaim, and it's designed to make learning Ojibwe immersive and accessible.
So we wanted to create kind of a place for the language to be fun and entertaining.
The game follows a young girl named Miskwa on a journey that reconnects her with her roots.
She's visiting her grandma out in the countryside. She gets sent out to go pick blueberries and falls asleep and wakes up in kind of a mysterious, magical forest.
To find her way out of the forest, Miskwa needs to solve puzzles and navigate different environments while learning Ojibwe words and phrases.
Oh, and now the Misko Bimij is saying it accepts our gift and will allow us to harvest.
Anna Hermes Roach helped develop the game. In doing so, she found herself reconnecting with her own roots.
I just find myself having fun with the language in a way that I didn't expect. It does make me feel like closer to my culture and closer to kind of the lineage of that culture.
The game is voiced entirely by Ojibwe community members, and while Ojibwe is considered an endangered language, Hermes Roach recognizes the importance of keeping it alive.
And there's so much in language that informs perspective and worldview and communicates the values of a culture.
Thousands are already playing the game for fun, but the goal goes beyond that.
We'd love to see it in classrooms.
She says the game is a tool and a starting point for players to begin their own journey.
And I hope Reclaim can be a good invitation into that experience.
With photojournalist Joe Van Ryan, Uba Ali, WCCO News.
You can find Reclaim on platforms like Steam and Itch. A North Minneapolis dance coach wants to give her team a glimpse at greatness. The award-winning Dance City troupe couldn't afford an opportunity to work with a legendary New York company 3 years ago. Now, that dance company is performing in the Twin Cities. Reg Chapman got a look at how the community is stepping up to help the troupe get to that show.
It makes me very happy because when I'm dancing, like all my emotions go away. It's like a safe place.
13-year-old Honesty Fully Love and her dance team are looking for community support to reach a big new stage.
I like competing and I love my dance team and community.
In 2023, we went to Las Vegas. We went to the Star Power National Competition, won first place. The girls did a phenomenal job.
Sierra Bernal, or Coach Cece, says a record of winning earned the North Minneapolis Dance City troupe a special honor, an invitation to dance with the world-famous Alvin Ailey Dance Company.
Exposing the girls to different forms of dance, exposing the girls to Black history is a top priority of mine.
Alvin Ailey founded his company in 1958 to uplift the African-American experience while enriching and preserving the legacy of modern dance.
So it's super important for me to show the girls where they can be, but also where they come from. And the Alvin Ailey Dance Company is a huge part of history, but specifically Black dance history. And so wanted to fly the girls out to attend classes at Alvin Ailey, but you know, resources, those things cost.
The dance company will be in Minneapolis this weekend. On Dance City's wish list, tickets for 25 girls and parents to go.
It would mean a lot because I like seeing other Black dancers because there's not really much out there in the world. And it would be nice for us to see it.
Coach Cece says watching professionals transcend racial barriers and connect deeply to people's humanity will go a long way with these girls.
I want the girls to be able to see the girls on the phenomenal Black dancers on stage and say, I can do that, I can be that.
With photojournalist Chris Cruge,
it would mean a lot because I would be so happy.
Reg Chapman, WCCO News.
We got some good news, of course, right? What else? The troupe's fundraising goals were met. Members of Dance City and their parents got to see the Alvin Ailey show. April is Transplant Awareness Month. It's a time to highlight the lives saved and the need that still exists. Photojournalist Nick Luneman and Jeff Wagner introduce us to a Minnesota family who recently faced that reality head on.
We have enough people to play.
This is William.
My name's William Staley. Better keep up.
A typical 5-year-old, full of energy and always
This is how fast I could go.
on the move.
He is
Dun, dun,
just
dun, dun,
a
dun.
little spark plug, 5 years old and absolutely thriving. This is an epic idea.
But how he got here is anything but typical.
Okay.
At 20 weeks pregnant, a scan his mothers, Betsy and Katie, weren't ready for.
Our midwife came in. You could tell something was up, and she just told us right away.
William was born with a rare condition that left his heart severely damaged.
He has complex congenital heart disease, which impacted the valves of his heart, the chambers of his heart, and then on top of that, he had heterotaxy syndrome.
As soon as he was born, he was rushed to Children's Minnesota.
I think what I appreciated most was how ready they were for us.
Days later, they learned William needed a new heart.
Excitement at the idea of we're just gonna start fresh, but it was also absolutely terrifying at the thought of not only him receiving a new heart, the fact that that heart has to come from another child.
They can be simultaneously happy that their child gets a second chance at life, while devastated for another family.
305 days later, William's parents got the call.
We just accepted the perfect heart for William.
Today,
William is exactly what we hope for when we pursue organ transplantation. He is happy, he is healthy.
something his family knows is a gift.
Hard to find the right words to show gratitude and to make sure they can tell that the gift isn't wasted.
In Inver Grove Heights with photojournalist Nick Luneman. Jeff Wagner, WCCO News.
Children's Minnesota tells us right now in Minnesota there are 2,300 patients waiting for organ transplants. 23 are kids waiting for a new heart. Check this out. It's a small town priest who is taking preservation to new heights. Derek James shows us how a drone is helping capture the beauty, history, and in some cases, final moments of rural Minnesota churches before they disappear.
In the tiny township of Spring Hill in Stearns County, a church still anchors the rural landscape and the lives around it. Inside St. Michael's Catholic Church, the quiet is broken by a humming sound. At the controls, it's pastor, Father Mitchell Bechtold.
It is really tricky is flying indoors, especially in these spaces because, one crash and you broke a priceless stained glass window or a one-of-a-kind statue, and I do crash. Don't tell my bishop.
It's careful and intentional work.
And I try to find those things that are not only picturesque, but significant.
He studies each space, not just for beauty, but meaning.
I look at what stained glass window would stand out to that person that they walk in and always look to it. The statue that was donated by a mother or father or grandmother.
And then he flies.
I like to not only come off the choir loft down to the altar, but I like to get angles that people have never seen before.
What began during the isolation of COVID has grown into something much larger. Father Bechtold, who is pastor for 4 churches in this area, has now filmed more than 40 churches across central Minnesota, with many still ahead.
In the Diocese of St. Cloud, we have 16 counties, 131 churches across them. Now to have the opportunity and really the excuse to go to all of these churches and visit them and get to encounter them so intimately has just been a true treasure.
It's a project of preservation, but also perspective.
It's really the responsibility of every generation to hand on something of its story to the next generation.
Because for many of these churches, time is becoming a factor. Father Bechtold's preservation project comes as the Diocese of St. Cloud is undergoing a major restructuring that will close several parishes, including St. Michael's.
Right now, we're seating at less than a 40% capacity across our diocese. So our churches aren't even half full.
Brenda Kresge, Director of Pastoral Planning, says the reasons are complex but clear.
The decline of priests, the decline of Catholics in our diocese, and demographic shifts.
The plan is to reduce 131 parishes to 48, with some churches closing, others merging, and some repurposed.
We don't want to have to close any churches. We don't want to have to merge, but it's using good stewardship.
In loss and sadness, there's an effort to move forward.
There's hope in what is coming. You might be surprised, because God surprises us all the time. You might be surprised at what is next.
That balance between honoring the past and preparing for the future is visible in Melrose. At St. Mary's, a new church stands after a fire destroyed the original in 2016. Father Bechtold now sits in that space, reflecting on change.
We try to preserve what we can of the past, but we have to build for the future.
His mission at each church is simple.
I'm not here to tell my story, but to remind them of theirs.
After the drone completes its final pass, it gently lands into Father Bechtold's waiting hand for a project racing to capture these sacred spaces while there is still time. In Stearns County with photojournalist Dave Charest, Derek James, WCCO News.
Good photography, Father. Well, Father Bechtold hopes to have drone video of all 131 churches in the Diocese of St. Cloud by the end of the summer. We know he will. That's a wrap on another episode of Good News here on WCCO. You can find out more on our YouTube channel or join us every Sunday morning on WCCO TV on our uplifting show at 7 a.m. We also stream on our website, WCCO.com and CBS News Minnesota.